Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Lucy B here. Guys, first of all, I would like to apologize for not posting last week. I'm going through a lot and there are a lot of things happening in my life. So I just want to apologize. I really miss you guys, and you know you are now like part of my family. I've also seen like newcomers. If you're new, you are most welcome. So here we talk about real life experience, we empower, we motivate, and mostly we try to make the world a better place to be. So if you're that kind of person, I know you're gonna stay here forever. And thank you guys for believing in me. Thank you for subscribing. Guys, we are on the road to 500. So if you haven't subscribed, please guys, start by subscribing, start by liking so that we reach our 500 target. So the title today is very interesting. So my title today is My Sincere Advice to the Prime Minister and to the European on African Migrating to Europe. Disclaimer, guys, I'm not a politician or anything. Really, anything about politics I don't like. I'm just here. All I do is to make the world a better place to be. So this title, which I'm gonna talk about, just is to make the world, to save the rest of the people from dying. Okay. So guys, we all know that the main reason why many young many youth are leaving Africa is just because of lack of job. They are trying to go to Europe thinking that is for a better life. So they put their life at risk. They cross the danger sea is because to look for a better job, a better life in Europe. These people travel through dangerous route, through dangerous sea, just to look for the hope of getting a better life. And one thing that Africa lack is job, mainly job. Many African youths have studied there. We have so many graduates in Africa, but once you finish, there's no job. And then you find someone, a graduate, is just there loitering at home, doesn't have anything good to do, other turn to alcohol, others turn to crime, and the other that might be if they come across people who like try to exploit them, lie to them, that there is a better life somewhere, then they take that route. And how they come, they end up dying. They end up really dying in a very, very bad way. As a result, Europe have tried to many ways, many tactics to stop this migrant, this young African crossing to Europe. They've tried everything and failed, to the extent now our Prime Minister has resolved to maybe try and deport them or take them to Rwanda, which I know it will work, but I think African migration needs a long-term project, because this Rwanda business will work, but it won't work for long. As you know, first of all it's gonna turn expensive because there are so many migrant or illegal migrant in the country, especially in UK. Deporting them all out, moving them all to Rwanda is gonna be very expensive. And even though it may work, it's gonna be for a short time. Time will come. If I don't know about everything, whether they are gonna keep helping them, supporting them throughout their life, and if that is so, many will see from other African countries which are maybe there's the war country where there's too much, there's war, there's a lot of they will still try and come so that they can be sent to such kind of places where they are taken care of, they are sponsored, they are given everything. And also not only that, if maybe in time the UK stop supporting them, I don't know how far the Rwanda will continue to look after these immigrants. And also the people on the ground, how are they gonna take it? We've seen a lot of things. Maybe there's gonna be civil war, that kind of thing, oh, you come to our country, you're taking stuff, that kind of thing. It might end up happening. So I think the best is the UK and the Europe, they just need to think of a long-term project that can keep African youth in Africa. So at this point, I have two questions for the Prime Minister. So the first question is, these people that they're already here on the ground, why don't you make them work? Why don't you allow them to work? For example, unskilled job, care job, support work, that kind of stuff. Care job is not difficult to learn. So maybe even though some of these are unskilled, or you could train them. Training for care job is only maybe 2 weeks or 1 month. You train them. You're lacking. The UK is lacking care workers. They are lacking nurses. Some of these immigrants, some of them might be most of them really they are graduate because there's no job and they're young. That's why you see them crossing. Why don't you put them down, try to ask each of them what profession would have got, they need improving, because you're crying that you need workers in the care industry. So like I say, train them and then let them start working like to work within the care industry. And then so that instead of like keeping them in hotel, paying for their hotel, paying for everything, they can work for themselves, because most of them that have come, they want to work. They're looking for a better life for their children and for their family. If you say you're gonna deport all of this, isn't it gonna be so expensive? And also as you continue keeping them in hotels, sitting and doing nothing, isn't it more expensive? Maybe just check out all of them, do some criminal check, and then keep the one that have got no criminal record, train them, give them work, instead of calling. Of recent, like the UK has called more care workers from abroad, from Africa actually, and others. So if you maybe start from home, these one who are already here, it doesn't make sense. You are deporting the one that are already here and asking for other more. For me, it doesn't make sense, because I feel like sometime if we use common sense, because like I said before, like you see, like my country, Uganda, you cannot go to university if you fail your common sense. We call it general knowledge. They will test you for general knowledge first before you're admitted to university. So for me, I'm thinking that we should also use common sense here. Make sure, start with there are so many illegal and those who are seeking asylum and all that. Look for all of them, put them down, train them, let them start working in the care sector instead of calling more. Yes, I feel that is right. My second question is, instead of sending them to Rwanda, why not send them to the first country where they landed before they came to UK? The first safe country they arrive in. Say they first arrive in Italy or Spain. Why not send them there so that they can go and claim asylum there instead of sending them back to Africa? You can negotiate with those countries, because I know, like they say, when you claim asylum, you can claim asylum for whatever first country that you reach in. So why not send them there? Negotiate this with other European country. Say these people, they first arrive in your country. Give them asylum there instead of coming to UK. Okay, I know others may say that they came to UK to follow their family members, but you first arrive in Spain or in Italy. Why don't you stay there? Settle there. Once you're settled there, then you can plan to come and visit your family member. Because remember, your family member that's in the UK, they came and settled. When they first came, they came alone and they managed to settle. So you too, you can settle in Spain or in Italy, wherever you reach, or whatever country, whatever safe country in Europe, you can settle there. And then once you settle there, you can plan to visit each other. And that will also be very good, like for holiday. Say like you settle now, the person in the UK will come and visit the person in Spain, or vice versa. And then how cool is that? It's like, so when this one from UK to go to visit the one in Spain or in Italy or wherever, it will save this one from paying extra money to go and might pay for hotel or something. Instead, you go and stay at your brother or at your sister's place. Yes. So I think, even though when you say it might be English or whatever, you just have to learn, because that's life. Okay, guys, it's your first time to come across my channel. Please, have you subscribed? Finding anything here informative, please like, subscribe, and share. Let's make the world a better place to be. Thank you already. So my advice to the Prime Minister and the European country is to stop young people from putting their life in danger, crossing this dangerous, going through this dangerous route, is to put a long-term project to stop this, something that can be sustainable, something that can be for long and can stop these young people putting their life at risk. Especially now that spring is here and summer is almost there. Before you know, these young people are gonna put their life at risk, and some of these young people, their parents will never see them again, and that really hurts. And the fact that they end up in the sea, they end up being dead, and even not their body will be found. Maybe they'll be eaten up with dogs or by fish, by birds. It's so painful. Your young child just go and then you never see them again. That is really the most painful thing that parents are not aware of. Yeah. So one of the long project that I want the European to take is start by educating the children. The children of Africa need to be put in place in their curriculum, so that they start educating them from school. Let them know the risk they will put their life in, crossing this dangerous route, crossing the Mediterranean Sea. Let the children start learning from school, so that when they come across such people who want to convince them, they may reject it there and then, because they will put all this thing in their head. They will try to imagine how the route that all the people that have gone through, some have not been able to return back, some have died just anywhere, they have suffered. Let them know that it's gonna save many children. Teach the community. Let the community know that the kind of risk their children put themselves in. Let the community be aware so that when one child or one person starts recruiting their friend, they are stopped there and then. Because some of these, they don't know. Some of the parents, they don't know the kind of risk their children are gonna go through. Imagine you're a parent, you've educated your child and they've been home maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They have got no job. And then one day come, oh, mom, dad, I've got a solution. I've been told if I go to this country, everything is gonna be okay. We are all gonna be fine. But not telling the parent what kind of danger they are putting themselves in. But once the parent, they know this, there and then they're gonna stop it. They're gonna stop them. They're gonna say no. And children in Africa really respect their parents so much. The children in Africa are well trained. Once your parent, they believe in their parent blessing. Once a parent have said no, they are not gonna do it because they know if they continue to do that, they are gonna meet dangers. So start teaching the community, educate the children, and this will be a kind of prevention for a longer time. Yes. Another long-term project that the West can support Africa with is using the African minerals. Guys, African minerals is normally exported raw, to other countries, and then in which it's gonna be refined and processed within other country, and all the benefit is that country, this other country that benefit from out of it, but not Africa itself. Africa just gets something small. For example, such a mineral of Africa such as like copper, cobalt, magnesium, and others that can maybe be extracted, and their batteries are made out of it, which all bring lots of money, but it's done outside Africa. They get the raw material and it's all refined outside Africa, and then Africa is losing that. But if they start, all the Europeans need to do, start doing this within Africa. For example, copper and cobalt, they are good for renewable energy. Right now, renewable energy is so much on a demand, like the whole world, due to globalization, to climate change and all that. The world needs renewable energy, which if Europe or the West start producing this within Africa, this alone will bring a big change. It will be a big opportunity for Africa. So instead of getting raw material, or Africa exporting raw material, and then the West get the end product, which become very expensive, and then maybe Africa again have to get the already processed, which is they gain nothing out of it. Or even instead, now China are just taking advantage, getting all this raw material, and they are becoming rich. If you can see, they're just getting raw material from Africa and processing everything from their country and all that. So if the West start maybe doing this within Africa, so that it can provide job for the youth, improve the economy, and also it will help the infrastructure of the Africa. It will really be a very good thing. This will help. It will stop the youth they are leaving Africa simply because there's no job. Africa has the mineral, but they lack the expatriate, people to mine, people to process, to refine all this mineral. They lack that. So if the Europe can do that for Africa, they will end this migration, or even if it's not end, at least they will reduce it. So as a whole, this will improve Africa economy. And once there's job for the youth, all the youth want is job, and so that they can work and provide for their family. But if they are not getting that, that's when they are gonna do anything. They are ready to risk their life to move to Europe. As the world move away from the fossil fuel, there is a demand or high demand for any mineral that produce renewable energy, because that is what the world is relying on. The energy is the main obstacle for the world right now. So if the Europe put that in place in Africa, this is gonna change Africa forever. It will provide job for the youth. It will improve the economy. It will do a lot of good thing for Africa. Another thing is they need to train the youth, skills that they can use, provide projects that can stay for long, that can keep the youth busy instead of being on street meeting all the wrong people, get wrong advice from them. You need to provide something for the youth to do, train them, put them skill, give sponsorship, education, that kind of stuff. It will keep the youth out of the street. It will stop them from thinking of moving to Europe. Yeah, it's the same they say, if your neighbor is okay and then the other neighbor is not okay, the neighbor that is okay, your life cannot be be guaranteed, because your neighbor that's not okay, they are gonna be like, they will start planning to find how they can get whatever you have. So what they will plan, they'll come at night to rob you. So you see, you need to do something for Africa if you want to stop African coming to Europe. So guys, have you subscribed? If you haven't, why not? Subscription is free and liking is free, sharing also free. Let's make the world a better place to be. So these are the few things that the West you need to do. You need to put a long-term sustainable project in Africa. Educate the kid, educate the community, educate their parents. Let them be aware of all these risks their children are going through, and also start refining the minerals within Africa to provide job and everything. Thanks already, and God bless.